Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive JT. So today I wanted to talk about getting rid of the Jeep Gladiator due to higher gas prices. You know, gas is going crazy right now. I was out this morning, $3.81 per gallon. You know, just a couple of weeks ago, it was $2.79 per gallon. So it's over $1 per gallon more than just recently. So I can't help but think if getting rid of the Jeep Gladiator is worth it due to higher gas prices. Now, if you watch the channel, then you know I love the Jeep Gladiator. It is right up there in my top 5, maybe 3 vehicles of all time. It's an awesome truck. But you know, in the end, you've got to be able to drive it, right? I mean, I didn't get it so it could be a driveway ornament. Just sit there and I can look at it because it's so pretty. So gas prices do make a difference. So I took a look. I went out, drove around this morning, and as I mentioned, the highest I saw, and it happens to be at the gas station that I frequent, was $3.81 per gallon. So I did some calculations just to see what I'm really spending as compared to something else. Real quick, before I get into that, make sure you smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. So let's take a look. Is it worth getting rid of the Jeep Gladiator due to higher gas prices? So taking a look at the Jeep Gladiator, it has a 22-gallon tank. That gives me 336 miles of driving miles. That's how far I can go on one tank with the mileage that I'm getting right now, or the fuel economy, which is 15.3 miles per gallon. So what does it cost me? At $3.81 per gallon, it cost me $83.82 to fill up the tank in the Jeep Gladiator from empty. So I mentioned I'm comparing it to something else, obviously with better fuel economy, and I chose the Honda Civic because I love the Honda Civic. It's an awesome little car. The current version or model year of the Honda Civic is getting 31 and 40 miles per gallon. That's city and highway. I'm going to use an average of 35 miles per gallon. And of course, that 336 miles that I can drive on a full tank of gas in my Jeep Gladiator. So, how many gallons does it take to drive 336 miles in a Honda Civic? 9.6 gallons. Not much compared to the 22 gallons in the Jeep Gladiator. Cost-wise, at $3.81 per gallon times 9.6 gallons is $36.58. Now that's as compared to the $83.82 in the Jeep Gladiator. That's a difference of $47.24. So, what is it really going to cost me if I were to get rid of the Jeep Gladiator due to higher gas prices? Well, if I spent, let's say, $1,000. In other words, to get out of the Jeep Gladiator, I'd have to dump $1,000 into the next vehicle because maybe my Jeep Gladiator's not worth quite as much as the next vehicle's going to be, for sake of argument. Maybe you're going to get something that's more expensive, but $1,000. I would have to fill up 21 times, go through 21 fill-ups before I could burn or equate to that $1,000 that I had to spend. Now, what if it's more? What if it's $5,000 more? Well, that's 105 fill-ups. So what does that equate to in time? Now, I'm assuming that you fill up once per week. So obviously, 21 fill-ups is 21 weeks. It would take me 21 weeks to equate to or justify spending an extra $1,000 due to higher gas prices in going to a Honda Civic in this case. Now, if I had to spend $5,000 or 105 fill-ups, that's a hair over 2 years. So it would be 2 years before I would recoup that money. Again, looking at gas prices between the two, or fuel economy. 2 years before I would break even and then start to go positive. Now, obviously, your time period is going to be a little bit different depending on how much you're spending and what your replacement vehicle might be. Now, there's one other thing to consider here. Of course, the Jeep Gladiator is a truck. And I realize there may be a lot of folks out there that use the Jeep Gladiator in its truck form as a truck. So you're going to lose something. You're going to lose the bed if you go to a car, something like the Honda Civic. Now, there is another solution to that. You could purchase a trailer. Obviously, you wouldn't have huge towing capacity, but you could purchase a trailer, put a hitch on the back of a Honda Civic, and haul that around to give you some kind of hauling capacity that you would lose by not having the bed on the Jeep Gladiator. But keep in mind, if you do that, unless you already own the trailer, that's going to cost you money. You have to buy the trailer, you have to buy the hitch, all that good stuff. Now, of course, towing things around with a Honda Civic, and I used a Honda Civic in this case kind of loosely, realizing that you probably would go with something else if indeed you were going to stick a trailer on the back and tow things around. But for sake of argument, we'll stick with the Honda Civic. Of course, hauling things around is going to reduce your fuel economy. So that time period, that difference is going to increase. It might be 3, it might be 4 years before you would break even and start to go positive when it comes to fuel economy or fuel usage in going with something like a Honda Civic versus the Jeep Gladiator. So the big question, getting rid of the Jeep Gladiator due to higher prices, gas prices, in my case, no, it doesn't really equate for me. I mean, I'd have to drive a couple of years, maybe even longer, before I would break even. Then that's assuming that gas prices didn't continue to rise. Obviously, if they go even higher, that gap is going to close. But the question I have for you folks out there is, what is the threshold? In other words, if you're driving a Jeep Gladiator and gas prices continue to rise, at what point or cost per gallon for gas would you consider or have to maybe get rid of the Jeep Gladiator? I would be curious to know. Leave a comment. Also, if you didn't in the beginning, make sure you smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive FST, all about full-size trucks. Currently, my 2022 Ram 1500, which by the way, is almost getting as good a fuel economy as my Jeep Gladiator. And honestly, I suspect it's probably going to do better once it breaks in. We shall see. My other channel is Rob Motive, all about my 2021 Toyota Tacoma. Right now getting somewhere between 18 to 18.5 miles per gallon, something like that. Check out those 2 channels, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.